All right. So, when did you get into art, and is there like a specific thing that made you want to start doing it?
Um, well, I guess I kind of been doing art since day one, but I think I was really encouraged by my parents and people around me. Yeah, my friends started getting into art, so I kind of decided, hey, I'll try drawing as well. So yeah,
All right. And what are you going into after high school?
I'm applying to Sheridan for the illustration program, and hopefully I get in if my portfolio is good enough.
And what do you want to do after that? Is there a certain career that you have in mind?
I always wanted to be involved in movies, so hopefully concept art or prop design or something like that. But considering the job opportunities of after getting illustration bachelor's degree, I'll probably be freelance or maybe something more like actual illustration for books. Anything would be cool, really.
Hmm. All right. And do you think that art is important to our society? Why?
I think art is important to any society. Like,
As in, like, modern.
well, yes, definitely. I think it's one of the primary ways to express yourself and your opinions on, especially social issues that go around. The only way you can really express them if you're not allowed to speak them out, you can just voice them through your art. So if you're living in America or if you're living in some, not as a country that isn't as successful or where you're not allowed to, voice your opinions, I guess. Like, art is kind of there to help you, like, let out your emotions into art if you can't really share them. And it speaks, very strongly.
Right. And how do you think art reflects the society it's made in? Or like the place that it's made in?
Well, yeah, I think when it comes to social issues, you can see who's struggling and who's not, and who's actually concerned and who's not. I mean, when it comes to art, it's more like realism or just plainly decorative. Doesn't reflect society much, but it does reflect the overall, like how the universal love for that sort of art. But when it comes to the actual society, you can see often like older art styles that originate and like that are native to that country are reflected in the more modern art, especially when they play on them. So if they make an appropriation of that, or if they're just trying to be more patriotic. But yeah, I think the strongest reflective in our current society would be more social art and social criticisms and all that stuff.
All right. Nice. And what are the challenges you face as a young artist, like how society views going into art and that sort of thing?
I think so, people in society definitely don't view going into art as the most I guess beneficial choice in concerning money. But I feel as an art generation doesn't care about it as much. If you were to tell your friend that, oh, I'm going into art, they'd say, oh, so that's so cool. Like, I wish I could do art. But if you were to tell your grandmother you're going into art, they'd be like, oh, what are you doing? Like, you're not going to earn any money. But I feel like the job opportunities are growing, especially for artists, which also means that there's a lot of competition. But I feel like there's more direct opportunities nowadays. Like, you could be this, you could be that, you can be like illustrator, like for a website, or like logos, or like you can be an animator. You can have more specific degrees and still do what you love, and still earn money. Like, even though you're not earning a lot of money, you're still enjoying life. As opposed to earning a lot of money and having a job that you hate. But I think society is definitely improving in the way they view artists and their career opportunities. But there's definitely need for improvement. Yeah.
Right. And finally, last question. I'm gonna move this. I'm trying not to move. Like, I want to like agree with you, but every time I nod,
Yeah, you will.
what would a world without art look like? Oh, sorry, I just moved this, so it's like half of your face.
I'm not allowed to swear, right?
Yeah, you can swear.
Like boring ass shit. I'm gonna say that.
It's okay. I don't like my teacher. You can say whatever you
okay.
want.
I don't want to get another teacher. I didn't know them. That's not a good idea.
All right. What would a world without art look like?
Pretty boring. I feel as if art has really help. Like throughout the ages, art has been a really, really important component in humanity growing. So if you look like, especially the Renaissance or any of those, like we really, like it's, whereas like all like medicine, math, it's all really important, man-made. That's what helps us live. But I feel like as if art is something that we live for, so it's what makes it life more interesting, and we can express ourselves better through it. So art, music, literature, all that. I feel like it's very reflective of the way we view society and just what we cherish and value when it comes to really just aesthetic appeal.
And like people who aren't in art, especially, they take it for granted, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they don't realize how hard it is trying to come up with something original and make it look good. And they feel as if, if you're artistic, you kind of just, you naturally are good at it, and you can just come up with anything and execute it properly. But it's a much harder process, and lately, art has been taken for granted. People don't realize the effort that's been put into it, and therefore it's much harder being original and standing out in the field, whereas it was hundreds of years ago.
All right. Thank you so much.